Brand new It's in the Game podcast here on the Ball is Life podcast network. I'm joined by a good friend of mine, as always, Mr. Denny Blanco. I am Denny Blanco on both Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter and IG at Randy J. Cruz, Rendy, the letter JCRUZ. Find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. If you're a fan of videos, you can find the video version on the Cruise Control Podcast Network on YouTube. Denny Blanco, my man, how you doing?
Randy Savage.
Yes,
we are about to turn the corner. We are about to get the final. What are we at? The Final Four? We're about to beat the Final Four?
Almost.
Yeah, so we're about to turn the corner. And
one team away, man. We got a game 7, another game 7 coming up. The Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Listen, man, this team was up 3-1. I'm pretty sure me and you probably had the Clippers in probably 5 or 6. That is not the case. I was out and about yesterday, so I did not see the whole game at all. And so I'm on the phone checking updates to see who won. And I see the Clippers were up by almost 20 points. I'm like, okay, this game is over. I check again, Denver's catching up. Check again, Denver's winning. And then I check again, Denver's up by 14. I'm like, what is going on? They win the game. I said, game 7, really? And everybody outside of Denver wants the Clippers-Lakers conference finals. I think that's the big money matchup. I think that's the matchup everybody has since opening night. We're almost there. One more game. But as a fan, you look at it, the Clippers, the Nuggets, how do we get to a game 7? They were up 3-1. The pressure, I think, is on the Clippers now to close it out. There's no pressure on Denver because most didn't really see them going to a game 7 with the Clippers. So how much pressure is on Kawhi, Paul George, and Doc Rivers to close it out tomorrow night?
Let me remind you, the Joker, Jokic.
Yes.
He said, and I quote, the pressure's not on us.
No.
The pressure's on them.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1. Number 2, yes, everyone would love to see the Clippers and the Lakers. And even my man Mondo hit me up, who was like, listen, he's a Lakers fan, LeBron fan. He said, listen, it's not too late to jump on the bandwagon. And I said, no. I picked Lakers and Clips, but let me tell you something. I honestly believe the pick and roll between Murray and Jokic is the best since Stockton and Malone.
Really?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing the Clippers can do with Jokic. Nothing. There's nothing. There's not, and that's the great part about it. Before you'd have a big man, he wouldn't have a jump shot. You would be able to double him and take him out of his game. With Jokic, put him on the post, put him on the elbow, put him on the 3-point line. You could pick him. You can use him as a pick and roll anywhere on the court, and he could just fade and shoot that baby 3. And it's wet. So for me right now, I wouldn't mind if Denver won. For ratings and all that, yeah, we want to see Clippers and Lakers. But I wouldn't mind if Denver won, because if Denver's the better team, if Denver goes on a run like this, I think they would be the first team to go have 4 consecutive
game 7s.
Game 7s. Yeah. So they deserve to be in the final. If they can beat the Clippers, is tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah, if they can beat the Clippers tomorrow, fair and square, that's it. I don't know what bag Doc Rivers is going to go in defensively, because his bigs have no answer for Jokic, period. So good luck. I see. If I'm going to, I picked the Clippers to be in the finals.
Right.
The Eastern, the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers, but I'm leaning towards Denver. Denver is looking sexy, baby.
Be careful of your prediction, because you got Toronto wrong last week. So be careful, because I'm in the same boat as you. I'm thinking man, I want to pick Denver. I feel Denver could really take this team to the limit and really beat them. But I'm like, yo, man, you got Kawhi there, you got Paul George there. LA is still a good team. It just they just haven't been able to close out. They had 2 double-digit leads in game 6 and game 5.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Would it be an argument for me to say, would it be excuse me, would it be fair to say that the Denver Nuggets entire team has more talent than the Clippers? Is that fair to say?
I wouldn't say more talent. I would say it could be an equal amount of talent because, Kawhi and Paul George take up a lot of space when it comes to that. Then you got Lou Will still there. You got Montrezl Harrell. You got a couple of the guys there. But you could make the argument for Jokic, Murray, Gary Harris, Michael Porter Jr., Paul Millsap.
Yo, it's right there.
And they don't even have Will Barton playing either.
You dig what I'm saying? And even Mike Malone, if I'm not mistaken, Mike Malone started Porter at one point and then said, you know what? I'm going to start Millsap.
Right.
Quick to make adjustments.
Oh, Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, Jeremy Grant. So they have Jeremy Grant too. Yeah, so they're loaded with talent. They're long. They're athletic. They can play big. They can play small. They can play fast, and they can play in the half court. I am scared.
For LA?
I am scared for the Clippers, man, because listen, if Paul George drops 30, Kawhi drops 30, are we confident that Harold, Trez, Lou Will, and all the rest of the supporting cast, Zubac is going to give you the filler of the 40 to 50 points that they need to compete with Denver? Denver, I mean, you got guys that can score 20 in their sleep down the line. You got Murray, you got Jokic, you got Paul Millsap, you got Michael Porter can give you some buckets. So you got people that can fill up the rim on Denver. I just hope that their defense comes to play. We'll see.
Since day one, you had LeBron, AD over here. You had Kawhi, Paul George over here, and that's the matchup you wanted for LA for the conference finals, the right to go to the NBA finals. Nobody wanted these two teams to meet in the playoffs prior to the conference finals. It's tough, man. It's tough. Again, there are a lot of people saying, the fans on Twitter are going to say, well, now this is like the first time Kawhi is like, this is his team. Like, this is like putting the bag on his back and to receive the criticism of being up 3-1 and there's a game 7. Like, just imagine this is LeBron having a 3-1 lead and then there's a game 7. Like, just imagine all the hoopla around that. Kawhi's not getting that. I'm not looking for that to happen to him. I'm just saying that's just the norm of being the best in the game that LeBron still is. That's the matchup I want. I think that's the matchup everybody outside of Denver wants. If I had to pick somebody right now, as much as I want to pick Denver.
Take your time with it. Take your time with it.
As much as I want to pick Denver. And I'll probably go with the Clippers. I'll probably go with LA.
Hey, check this out. I'll pick Denver. Whoever wins, lunch.
So you got Denver.
I got Denver.
I got the Clippers.
I got Denver. I'm going for the underdog, baby.
So, all right. If you got Denver, by how many? 5, 7, 8, 10?
Denver by 6.
By 6?
Two Murrays. Two Murrays.
2 Murrays. I got LA. I got LA by 5. I don't bet. I'm like LA by 5. I think it's come down to coaching, come down to because when Kawhi and PG are on playing defense, like you can't get by though. But they got to be fully locked and loaded all 48 minutes because Murray can get off. Jokic, they have no answer for him. So he'll get his 30 and 20, whatever. You got to get that up. Murray can get hot. Michael Porter has been playing better the last couple of games. I think Gary Harris coming back from the injury played a big part in Denver. Going to be a great finish, great series. I thought it was over in 5, but that's what you want, right? You want a game 7. You want to, all right, if the winner gets the Lakers. Now, does the Clippers play better against the Lakers? Is the Lakers in Denver a better matchup? I don't know. I'd rather see LA and LA, but to you,
Well,
the better matchup is who? LA and Denver or both LA teams?
I don't want to see AD and LeBron going, posting up against Zubac and Montrez and the twins, the Morris twins. No, I don't want to see that. What I do want to see is what AD has for the Joker. That's what I'd like to see. You want to be called the best big man in the game? Mm-hmm. All right, that guy right there. I want to see what you can do against him, Anthony. I want to see if you can slow him down. I want to see if you can extend to the 3-point line when he goes out there with the pick and roll, and you can defend him. That's what I want to see. Right. The Lakers and the Clippers. You're gonna match up with LeBron and Kawhi, and then LeBron, Kawhi, and then Paul George, and who's the next scorer? I mean, they're not gonna put Paul George on AD. They'll probably put Harold or Zubac on him. So and that's the thing. It's going to be interesting, but
so like if LeBron guards Kawhi, who's guarding Paul George? Who starts?
Probably Caldwell Pope or
never. Morris. I think Morris starts now.
Morris. I don't think Morris has an answer for Paul George, but we shall see. I think Morris is a little slower than Paul George on the perimeter. So we're going to see how that matches up.
So if you're the Lakers, would you rather see Denver or the Clippers?
I'd rather see Clippers. I'd rather see the Clippers if I was the Lakers. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that suburban. Are you serious? No. I don't want to see that suburban. That's
yeah.
No. But that boy he's too much. The defensive strategy is less with the Clippers versus Denver, because Denver does a lot more than the Clippers when it comes to their offensive sets, when it comes to screens and cutting. Denver's offense is humming right now. Clips to me is more Kawhi, Paul George ISO based, and maybe when Luke comes off the bench, same concept, and then everybody gets in their positions. But with Denver, it just seems like Murray, Jokic, pick and roll, let's go, and then it's dead from there. So it's going to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Randy, has Murray even played well this series?
Played okay. Not like Utah. Not like Utah series.
Okay. Is it Murray time?
Murray time? Could be.
Is it Murray time?
I mean, if he got to this point, you might as well go all out Game 7, right? I mean, listen. If the Clippers lose, the media would get on. Is Kawhi the best player in the game? Does Kawhi and Paul George really exist? They'll probably blame Paul George more than Kawhi. We know how it goes.
But it's the first year, though. It's the first year of them playing.
But still, you're right there, though. First year, not like again, it's LeBron and AD's first full year healthy and all that.
Sure,
they're supposed to get to this point. They're supposed to get to the finals. When or not, you don't know.
Sure.
They traded a whole bunch of people and moved all these things around to get Kawhi and Paul George, the biggest free agent splash last summer. They're supposed to make the conference finals. They're supposed to make the finals. They don't. If they can't get past the Denver Nuggets, and Denver's really good, I don't know. Are we saying they need one more piece? Who we blaming? Kawhi, George, Doc Rivers? Like who we blaming?
I mean, if we're talking about who's the most to blame if they lose tomorrow night, Doc Rivers. I would put the blame on. You have the pieces, you have the players, right? So it's a matter of X and O's. That's why I say Mike Malone. Listen, Mike Malone, if the Denver wins this series, it is a fair argument to say that Mike Malone outcoached Doc Rivers.
Correct. Right.
No debate, no dispute.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, Coach Malone, has no issue changing lineups. He has no issues making adjustments based on what's going on in the game. That's why I love him as a coach. So if I was to put a blame on someone the most,
right,
Coach Doc is going to have some things to answer to.
So you got Denver I reluctantly had the Clippers. Just so I had like 1 foot in Colorado right now.
They didn't pack. They didn't pack. They didn't pack.
I'm dipping, bro. I'm dipping. Lakers, they advanced. They got rid of Houston in 5.
Right,
Rockets won the first game, and people thought maybe this can be a series, but no. LA won 4 in a row, and again, in back-to-back series. Again, the blame is going to go on Harden and in Westbrook. Mike D'Antoni would not be back as the coach. I think his contract was running up anyway. So he was like, deuces, I'm out. He might end up in like Indiana and in Philly. There are some teams that could be interested. So he'll get a job. But looking back at it, you get 2 perennial all-stars and MVPs with Harden and Westbrook on the same team. You thought this could be something different. It could go far this year. It just didn't look like it did not look that way in round 2. Somehow, some way, they weren't clicking together. The whole entire team wasn't clicking like that. They got game 1 off, which is cool, but what do you make of the Rockets in this series and going forward without Mike D'Antoni, and what kind of moves you think they should make going forward?
The GM of the Houston Rockets made a terrible mistake, and I'll tell you what mistake they made. They used analytics,
right,
to make a move to get Westbrook and blow up that entire Houston team that had Chris Paul on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They made a strategic move, and it blew up in their face. I would have liked to have seen the Houston Rockets team with Chris Paul that was healthy play this season versus Westbrook and Harden. You basically gave up Clint Capella. Bad move. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Defense, he provides. Rebounding, changes shots. Okay? And then obviously he was getting better. He was a very young player. He was getting better. His free throws was getting better. All he needed to do was add some more post moves, and he was a perfect fit for Houston Rockets. They traded him away. They went small. They had Tyson. They had Tyson Chandler on the bench of the Houston Rockets, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't even use him.
No.
At all against the Lakers. You think he could have disrupted a couple of shots from LeBron, just walking down the lane and just dunking?
I mean, he could have done something, but I don't think he would have been that effective. But just his height could have done something.
Just give me 2 minutes of 7'1".
Yeah.
Okay, because when I saw that after that first game with Houston, the rest of the games it was just layup, dunk, and then the last game was just shooting threes because they had given up and they couldn't play D, they couldn't rotate. So the Houston Rockets unfortunately went with analytics versus what history has shown us is you're not going to win a championship playing small ball. You're not, unless you're a glitch and you're the Golden State Warriors. Other than that, because they're a glitch and they actually play D at every position.
Mm.
And they have one guy who could play all 5 positions. Shout out to PJ Tucker. He didn't win. He obviously wasn't selected on the all defensive team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but PJ Tucker can guard maybe the 3, the 4, and the 5. I don't see him guarding 2s and 1s very well.
Right.
Draymond can guard all 5 positions very well. That's what made Golden State very special when they made their run. But other than that, you need a big man who can rebound, defend, block shots, i.e. AD in LA, i.e. Joker in Denver,
mm-hmm.
And even Miami, who's their center. Miami, they have Bam. Okay, and then who is the Boston's? They have Theis.
Tice.
So you got guys that are pretty between 6 foot 6'6", 6'8", 6'9", can rebound, can shoot, but they play defense, and that's what you need. So
yeah, without Mike D'Antoni, do you think they continue the small ball era that they're in? I mean,
depends on the coach. Depends on the coach, because if the coach comes in,
the rumor is obviously you are going to hear a whole bunch of names until they hire somebody. But I think
Mark Jackson.
Who?
Jeff Van Gundy.
Van Gundy's out there, former Rockets coach, but the one guy I keep seeing was Sam Cassell.
Sam Cassell. Like, you know, I mean,
all power to him. You know, former Rocket, 2-time champion with them. You know, somebody new, give somebody else a chance. Now, for example, would he continue the small ball? I don't think so. He knows you got to get a power forward, a big, and I know it's more guard oriented today's NBA, but still, you can have Harden and Westbrook, but they can't just be the only two main guys doing it. You got to have some guys who can post up. And I put a tweet out there a while ago. Like, when's the last time you saw somebody from the Rockets post up? Like, it's been a long time. Like,
I can answer that. I can answer that. Clint Capella. That was 2 years ago. Come on, bro. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. Sam Cassell's gonna come in. No, he's not. He's gonna interview for the job.
Mm-hmm.
Interviews for the job. He's gonna be on the phone, on the Skype, whatever he is on. He's gonna say, "Look, I'll come, but I have to be involved with the picking of the groceries, if you will. I have to be involved with the GM decisions if we want to make this work. I don't have to be a GM, but I have to be involved. Number one. Right. Number two, we're not playing small ball no more. That's done. We're creating an offense where we take advantage of obviously Harden and Westbrook's abilities. Maybe and God forbid, Harden, you come off some screens. God forbid you come off some screens, Harden. God forbid you make a cut without the ball. Don't even bring the ball up. God forbid. Like that affects your defense as well. If you have to bring the ball up, and he was getting double teamed every single time. Don't get it twisted by the Lakers. If he has to bring the ball up and then make a decision, and then come back and then play defense, it's like, bro, you have to give him the off ball. So it's going to be interesting with the new coach coming in. Where they're going, what direction they're going to go. They'll still win 40 games strictly off of Harden.
Yeah, I felt like Harden was doing too much. I know he was the point guard, the scorer, playing 40 minutes a night, and like
it was too much. It's too much. Not even Jordan was not responsible for bringing the ball up the court. Kobe was not responsible for bringing it up the court. He did it from time to time, right, but he was not mainly responsible in the triangle. Obviously, Derek Fisher could do it. Whoever, but it just seems like it had to be in his possession the whole time. And Russell, Mr. Westbrook, if you don't find you a jump shot, a consistent jump shot, you have some problems, man. You need to find yourself a consistent 10 points.
That was it.
You had 10 points in the season finale. That's it. That's all you can muster? 10 points in 48 minutes?
Yeah, that's why I don't know. I don't understand. Like, we know Russell can get 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 whenever he wants to. Unless the defense was crazy that he couldn't get off a shot, I don't.
I mean, don't get me wrong. LeBron was all over him. Don't get it twisted. LeBron was all over him as he should have been. Don't get it wrong. But with Westbrook, it's more basketball IQ, making the decisions when he needs to, playing fast, playing slow.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
What are you doing? Where are you going? What are you doing? How are you moving? There are times where I see that and I'm just like, slow down. So he's past the time where he should know this already. But this is where we are.
Right. We're mentioning Chris Paul real quick. Obviously, a lot of teams are going to be interested in acquiring Chris Paul. So maybe him as a Thunder could be a wrap soon. I don't know. He might stay. But teams that I've been seeing being interested, obviously, who was it? The Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks could be interested. I read that the Pelicans could be interested. That could be a little. Then it's like, all right, who do you give up? Are you trading Lonzo Ball?
Yes.
Let's have fun. Sorry, Chris Paul, Zion, Brandon Ingram, JJ Redick.
OKC. If we're dealing with OKC, I don't know. It could be 8. It could be an 8-team trade. It could be a 14 trade. It could be a litany of ways they do it. But
And, he used to play in New Orleans too, so that could be a little.
100%. So you got some young guns. You got Ingram, and you got Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Keep JJ as a shooter. Yeah, you have to give up Lonzo, and you know what? You may have to give up Lonzo. You may have to give up. You may have to give up Ingram. You may. Who knows? For that trade to work. But if you kept a core of Paul, Redick,
and they still have Holiday too.
Right. If you keep the core of JJ Redick, Paul, Holiday, Zion,
and Ingram.
But you have to give up Ingram. I think they're gonna want to give up Ingram. Because if you get rid of Ball, you think they're going to get rid of Ball straight up for I wouldn't do that if I was the OKC. I would be like, no, this is Chris Paul. I need a little bit more than just straight up Lonzo, who really hasn't proved he's getting better. Hasn't proved too much right now. So
it's going to be Alonzo or Drew Holiday, something like that. They won't trade both. That's if they even do it. Who else? The Knicks will be interested. You know, the Knicks. You know, that's my team, but they want everybody. Do I want Chris Paul in New York? I don't. I just, for me, I don't think that's the best fit for him.
He's not going.
He's not going there.
He's not going there.
He wants to win a championship, and we're far away from that.
He's not going there.
Milwaukee's tough too. I think Milwaukee could be the best fit for him to play with a MVP, a superstar, and get right back into the mix of a title contender. You probably got to give up Bledsoe, maybe something else, draft pick, maybe some bread. But the thing is, Milwaukee still needs more than that. They need another scorer, go-to guy that can beat you off the dribble, create their own shot to go along with Giannis and Middleton. So if it's Chris Paul, cool. But the thing is, they could be a little better than last year if that happens to happen. But they need another scorer.
So
with that.
So in a perfect world, let's just say, because Milwaukee, I saw something that mentioned that the Milwaukee owners met with Giannis, had a little breakfast,
right,
and was begging him, saying, "Look, we're going to pay over the threshold. We're going to bring you a championship within the next 2 years. Do not leave us, please, please, please. Eat that bacon. Don't leave us.
They better
eat that bacon. Don't leave us. Right. So
they better.
If you can somehow get Chris Paul there and Oladipo, now you're talking, baby. Now you're talking, baby. If somehow you can get Chris Paul there with Oladipo, now you get two additional people that can get their own shot, and you get a point guard who literally will put everybody into position. No rushing. All right, this is what we're going to do here. This is what we're going to do there. Woo! I like how that looks.
So you're saying Milwaukee to get Chris Paul, somehow get Oladipo,
somehow, because they need an additional. They need a point guard, number one, and they need an additional, a reliable point guard, and an additional scorer who can get his own shot. I mean,
how do you get Oladipo there? Like, okay,
I don't know, because Oladipo. It looks like Oladipo may want to move. From what I was reading, he may want to move. But even then, Eric Bledsoe, is a disappointment for me because I thought he was the answer. I thought that was going to be the answer, but his 3-point shot wasn't falling. He wasn't getting people involved. It was like, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to imagine his plus minus.
If somehow Milwaukee can get Oladipo or like a Bradley Beal there.
Oh, if they get a Bradley Beal.
I don't think they have.
Give up everybody. Just everybody except Middleton.
No, you got to have that guy with Middleton and Giannis. I mean, like.
Yeah, you give. No, I'm saying keep Middleton and Giannis. Everybody's up for grabs. However you make that trade, if you can get Beal, it's a wrap. It's a done deal.
Then they don't have enough for Bradley Beal. I mean, if you're doing draft picks and I don't know who you trading, Matthews, who you giving up? They
don't have enough value.
They lost Brogdon last year.
Yep.
I mean, he could have been some value, but
yep.
What they got? Bledsoe, Korver, DiVincenzo. I know Brook Lopez gonna stay.
Trade DiVincenzo,
Matthews.
Bledsoe, trade all three. Matthews, DiVincenzo, and Bledsoe. All three for Beal. Toodles.
Then if they try to get Chris Paul, they got to trade for him too. Ain't nobody a free agent.
No. Here's the thing. It's either or. You're probably not gonna get both. Right. But you want to get one or the other. If you're trying to take that next step, they have to get one or the other. Beal or Paul.
They can trade Paul and then sign somebody, whoever's a free agent out there, like that could be serviceable to free. You keep Giannis, you keep Middleton, you keep Brook Lopez, you keep that roster, and Milwaukee will be right back where it was at this year. So
right back, no question.
Last point: Eastern Conference Finals, Boston, Miami. That'll start tomorrow prior to Game 7. So I know you picked Toronto. I picked Boston. We are here now. If the winner goes to the finals, could be a tough series. I think it should be 6 or 7 games.
I got to pick.
Let me guess. You're going with Miami, right? I think I knew you going Miami.
Why'd you know?
Because you ain't picked Boston last series. Now you're gonna pick Boston over Miami? No.
It was just I was going with the momentum of Toronto. After further review, we all make mistakes.
So tell me why Miami over Boston.
I believe in Jimmy Butler. I believe in Bam Adebayo. I believe in the coaching prowess, which is the winner who has a championship ring, who is Mr. Spoelstra.
That's right.
I believe in Duncan being a shooter. I believe in that 21-year-old. Oh, yes. I think I have to create a nickname. Oh, that's what it was. Tyler. Wait, what did I call him?
Tyler.
Here it is. And this is nobody take this from me. Denny Bronco first. You take it from me, I'm going to come for you. You ready? Here we go, Randy.
What's the nickname?
Tyler Sub-Zero Hero. Ooh! Sub-Zero Hero. That boy is ice cold, baby. Ice in his Sub-Zero Hero. All right, may not carry. Who knows? But
hey, you never know. He might find this out, and he might want to take that.
Sub-Zero Hero. Telling you, boy, that boy is 21 and not afraid of nothing. Athletic, strong, and they don't care about offense. They care about defense.
Oh, it's crazy.
They don't care about offense. They're like, can you stop your man? That's why I love the Miami Heat. And if clearly Jimmy Butler were to take the Miami to the finals, even in this shortened year, I think that's huge.
Right. I can't blame you for taking Miami. I still ride or die with Kemba, New York guy, Bronx guy, but Tatum has to play well the whole entire time.
Guess who's going to have Tatum?
Jimmy Butler, and then Jaylen Brown.
No, well, yeah, Jimmy Butler's going to take. I would put, if I was Spoelstra, I would put Jimmy on Tatum, and then I would put who's their wing, their other wing.
For Miami?
Yeah, was it Johnson? Not the lanky.
They got Bam, Butler, Duncan, Hero.
Who's that lanky? Is it it's a lanky? Hold on, let me look at this. Olenek, nah, Miami roster. He's like a small forward. Let me see. Not Kendrick. No. Derrick Jones Jr.
Derrick Jones Jr. Okay.
They're gonna have to put Derrick Jones Jr. on him. Maybe you have to start him because I don't see Duncan Robinson having anything for Brown or Tatum defensively. But that's what I would basically.
If you go by matchup, Kemba, Dragic, that goes to Kemba, right? You think?
Yes.
The 2 guard is who the 2 guard for? Smart. Marcus Smart against. It's not Jimmy though, right? It's probably Hero.
Let me see. Starting lineup is starting lineup is Goran Duncan. Bam, Tyler, and Jimmy. So I don't know if Tyler has what it takes defensively to slow these guys down. That's my concern. Derrick Jones, however, has the length and the ability to slow these guys down. So it's just a matter of what, Spoelstra is going to try and do. But I don't want to put that too much on Tyler Hero to come in and have that type of whether Tyler Hero's guarding Tatum or Brown. That's going to be tough matchup for him.
I give Bam the nod over Tice.
Easy, light.
Butler over Tatum.
Butler over Tatum. Yeah, Butler over. That's why I picked Miami, because I don't see Boston's big slowing down Bam.
Mm-hmm.
And I see Miami's defense wearing Boston down.
And I assume you give the nod to Spoelstra over Brad Stevens, right?
Yeah, by a tiny nudge. Don't get me wrong. Brad Stevens is a great head coach.
Right.
Change the roster, and they're doing this without Hayward, who's supposed to be coming back.
And that's a question I got for you. If Gordon Hayward happens to come back, maybe game 3, 4, in that kind of range, if that change your decision at all, do you still feel Miami got this?
Won't be enough.
How many games, Miami?
6. 4-2.
So if it happens to win, are you surprised about that?
If they win tomorrow, Boston wins the first game? Yeah, I'll be surprised.
If they win the whole series, Boston.
Oh, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if Boston wins the whole series because, like I said, if you as Miami, you have an advantage with your bigs. If you get Boston's front line in foul trouble, then all bets are off. And with Bam, I can see that happening. I don't see Boston's bigs getting Bam. Nobody from Miami's bigs in foul trouble. And Olenek is serviceable. So is Bam. So I can't wait.
Iguodala.
And we forget about Iggy, baby. He may get another ring, baby. Iggy like, oh, y'all thought I was playing when I came to Miami.
Yeah. Tough, man. It's going to be tough. Okay, so you got Miami. I'll go with Boston just to kind of be back and forth. If Boston's going to get this done, you might go 7 with Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's 6 or 7. 6 or 7.
7. Now, does Boston want another Game 7 series? No, but we'll see about Hayward. I think he can provide a lot of things that they were missing in that Toronto series. I mean, just 14, 15 points, be serviceable, not put the whole load on Kemba, Tatum, and Brown. Kemba didn't really play that well against Toronto, so
you're talking about 12 points from Hayward, but it's going to offset anything else because defensively he is a liability. So 12 points I don't see it being a breakthrough. If he would drop 20, then I would be like, that's going to be a major difference. But I don't see him coming back and being a big factor.
Hey, man, a nice Lakers-Boston finals could be nice. Rivalry. Even the Lakers in Miami could be nice.
Lakers in Miami would be dope. I'm not gonna dispute that. Lakers in Miami would be dope.
Just imagine that was in the arenas, man. Staples, Miami, back and forth. You get the two hot cities going at it 1-on-1. No, but we're in the bubble, bro.
We're in the bubble, baby.
Staples, no Miami arenas. I think Miami's tough, man. Boston gotta lock in.
They're not playing games, man. Jimmy Butler.
If Boston can take game 1, that could change the whole momentum.
You think so? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You would say that if it's a home court series. It's not home court series. We're in a bubble, baby. So you could take the game 1. I could give 2 flying squirrels. The fact remains is who's going to win 4 games in a row, and who's going to make the proper defensive adjustments and offensive adjustments. So for 6 games, Miami in 6. Okay. And they'll be waiting for the winner of Denver and LA.
That's right. So as of right now, before we wrap up, your original prediction for the finals with the Lakers and the Bucks, right?
It was the Lakers and the Bucks.
So now the Bucks are out. So now you'll keep the Lakers there, but now you're taking Miami. So that's your next thing.
That's my substitute at this point. I think Miami's going to the final based on the roster that they have. and they're not like, again, they can play small, they can play big, they can play fast, and they can shoot threes, and they have a half court set that's dope. So they can do it all.
I hear that. Tomorrow night, Game 7, Clippers and the Nuggets. Also, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between Miami and the Boston Celtics. The Lakers are already in the conference finals, waiting for the Clippers or the Nuggets. Should be fun. Should be interesting. We're close to the Final Four. We do the show just about every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think that's the schedule going on now. Should be fun, interesting. You can follow Denny Blanco on both Instagram and Twitter at I am Denny Blanco. You can follow me at Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, the letter J, CRUZ, the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts on the Ball is Life Podcast Network. You can follow Ball is Life as well on both IG and Twitter. And if you're a fan of watching the podcast on video, you can find it on Cruise Control Podcast Network on YouTube. Denny Blanco, my man, always appreciate it.
Randy Savage, thank you. Ball is life.
That's right, man. Take it easy.